Oh, okay.
Come on.
How's that work? I don't get that.
Feed the piggies.
Guys, I don't refer to you as such.
I do.
He
If
refers
you're doing what you're doing, I'm going to call you a piggy. And I think you'll like it, honestly.
I call you dirty sluts.
I think they like that too.
Really? Here's slut feels female to me though. Not male.
That is really,
Doesn't that seem female though?
well, that's
Slut?
just because of that's like internalized misogyny at its best, right?
Internalized. I think it's the community. I think the world.
Or that's just like cultural misogyny.
Yes.
At its best.
Yeah, totally. Slut.
I guess internalized would be if you were calling yourself a slut.
Well, I think it would be if I'm the only one who thought that it was just a female word, but it applies to everyone.
Isn't like internalized stuff like when you apply like internalized homophobia is when like gay guys hate other gay guys because they hate themselves that they're gay? Like they've taken all the outside homophobia and churned it into part of their own code.
And they like hate themselves?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I mean, maybe. I guess
Like
internalized
Milo Yiannopoulos.
Oh, yeah. Do you know he was never gay? Or you're the one that told me
I'm
that?
the one that told you that. Who else would have told you that?
That's a good point, yeah.
Hey, why don't we get this thing started?
Yeah, you do it. We already talked about how I can't do intros and outros. I just don't even know how to do them.
Sounds like somebody needs a little bit more faith. Whoa, look at these cargo pants.
Yeah, I've been rocking these for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
These seem like these seem like a little out of your...
No, they're a little baggier. They're way more comfortable.
Yeah.
I wore these so I didn't have to bring an extra pair of pants.
Love it.
Because they are very comfortable.
Welcome to another episode of Call Him Father. Baby, we're doing it. We're in fucking Matthew. We're in the New Testament. And I got to be honest, just from the little bit of reading that I did, this stuff's good. It's way better.
It's way easier than
it's a little bit more
OT.
enlightened. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, yes.
A little bit less litigious.
Sure, yeah.
A little bit less particular.
Sure.
And a little bit more, you can see where like the C3, ever heard of C3, the church here that's like a hippie church?
Yeah, it used to be called, it's called something else now. It's called Fount now, but.
It's called Fountain?
Fount. Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I won't say the first word that popped in my head, but yes.
Did it rhyme with gay?
It rhymed with bag.
Okay. Okay. So spiritually rhymed with gay.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I've met people that go there. I think it's a fine church. I think theologically it's all right, but it's very much like younger, more emotional,
sure,
stuff like that. It's not the vein of Christianity that I grew up in, but I don't know why they changed it to C3, or I don't know why they changed it to Fount, but yeah,
maybe honestly, probably.
How do you know of it?
I was told about it. I can't remember, but. I bet the name change is just like one of the cool hot young pastors fucked someone and they were like, all right, turn it over.
Yeah, exactly. All right, new name.
That's got to be. I mean, at least they're fucking adults. That's
sure.
That's a good.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's progress.
It's better.
Not perfection.
I mean, from my understanding, they have like a few different. They have a few different campuses. Like there's one in Brooklyn. There's one in Times Square. There's another one. I think there might be a third one. I'm not sure.
The middle of hell.
But yeah, I mean they're a pretty solid church from what I understand. I never visited. But.
Anyway, I'm just saying like you can from stuff in here you can see like
the love.
Yeah, more love, openness based stuff, like more hippy dippy spirituality based.
This is what was being prophesied about in the Old Testament. They're like, hey, look forward to this, and now we're seeing it.
Hey, one day we can be less of dicks to each other.
Yeah, one day, and in the light
not
of that,
not us. It's so funny to be like, not us. Someone else will do it.
Well, that is kind of the idea. Is Jesus came to first the Israelites, to the Jews, to say, hey, act this way,
right? And
the Jews rejected him,
right?
And so then it went to among the Gentiles, and the Gentiles were like us. We're like, oh, this is awesome. This is freaking great.
Yeah.
Which is also why it's so like such a big deal if you are a Jew who becomes a Christian.
Sure.
Because like a Messianic Jew, like Jews hate Messianic Jews more than they hate.
You love this
goys.
point.
They hate it because they're like, how dare you go against your culture,
right?
Of Judaism,
right?
Accepting Christ. It's a big deal. But yeah, anyways, we're diving into all that. Jesus, who was a Jew.
Wait, so if you were like, if both of your parents are Messianic Jews,
yeah,
are you just a Christian?
You're a Christian who's a Jew. You're also a Messianic.
You're just
Jew.
Ethnically a Jewish person.
Yes.
Who's okay?
Yeah.
You're not like a special. You're kind of just a Christian.
Well, you're a Jewish Christian.
But it's like being a black Christian.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like,
Right.
There's
It's
not
so
like
funny,
some
dude.
weird elixir of like still taking some Jewish stuff and
Yeah, no, we're not getting rid of the Jews, Grant. Sorry.
I don't want
they
that.
Stay Jew.
I don't want that.
I was so funny. I was talking to like New York Jews, like comics, and like explaining this to them. And they're like, well, you can't be a Jew and a Christian. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, you can.
That was Jesus.
Well, he wasn't a Christian. He's Christ. Like Christians are followers of Christ.
Sure.
But the idea
But I'm
of
sure
like,
if he came, when he comes back, he'll be like, yeah, I'm a Christian.
I believe in me.
Yeah.
I mean, he does believe in himself. But it's just so funny to be like, yeah, you can be a Jewish. What are you talking about? Can you be an Ethiopian Christian? If you become a Christian as an Ethiopian, you're not Ethiopian anymore.
Yeah.
You idiot. Like
You're just not as Christian because you're not white.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Of
they're
course.
not perfect.
Right.
Nobody's just white
Yeah.
Christians. Just the wasps are perfect. But other than that,
That's why they call them the worst bug.
worst bug,
Worst bug.
but
wasps.
best Christian. Well, I think mosquitoes are the worst bug.
In terms of deaths, yes. But in terms of just sheer aggression, wasps are real cunts.
Yeah, I really don't like wasps. Are scary. Have you ever been stung by anything?
Many, many times.
Never been stung by anything.
What?
Never. That's why I'm so
That's
scared
like
of
a
it.
bubble boy fact. That's like something. That's like
Look at
someone
me.
who has never
Look at me.
experienced anything. I know, but you have calluses on your hands. You'd think you would have.
Yeah, from working out.
Yeah.
I pay hundreds of dollars a month to get these calluses.
That's true.
I think about that. Every workout I'm done.
paid tens of dollars a month to get my calluses.
I think about that every workout I'm done. I thank Jesus. I'm like, thank you for affording me the capacity to pay hundreds of dollars to feel as terrible as I do right now. Because other people just do feel that bad. And I pay money to feel that bad.
People
it's crazy.
get paid to feel that bad sometimes.
Get paid to feel that bad?
Yeah, like that's some people's work.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm like, no. That's no. It's a luxury. Insane, dude.
That's nice.
Living the best time ever.
Well, do you have any things to report from a spiritual perspective that you want to talk about?
In my own life and
Yeah.
spiritual goings on.
Since we're not doing this rating thing anymore.
Yeah, we're not doing the
I
rating.
figure we
thing.
just do spiritual check-ins, religious check-ins,
check-ins
without the numbers.
I think things are going generally well. I need to spend more time in scripture, I find, and that's really the big wrestle for me. Is it's like I'm very open to praying, but then also and like listening through like maybe meditation or whatever that may be, like moments of silence.
Are you doing that?
Yeah,
How
but
are you
it's
doing
hard
that?
to. I think like, well, what do you mean how?
Well, like, is it like a structured thing? Like, hey, I'm going to do this for 10 minutes, or is it
No,
like
it's
I
not-
have
it's
some
not-
time? I'm just
It can
gonna
be.
sit
There
and quiet.
There are moments when there are, but like especially since I got the brick on my phone,
Oh, nice.
like it's like more afforded to myself to do
Right.
that. Before I got really, really sick, my screen time shot up once I got sick. It's terrible.
Yeah, you're allowed. That seems like when you're allowed.
I kind of felt
You don't
that way
have
too.
to. You could probably.
Yeah,
I don't know. I had
just sitting. Oh, I also watched Pluribus, dude.
what's that?
Show on Apple TV. I watched two things. I watched the new Knives Out.
Is it good?
Really good. Also, good representation of Christianity in it, I thought.
Oh, wow.
And then two, Pluribus. I watched the first 4 episodes. So good.
I don't know what that is.
It's a show on Apple TV.
You said that already. What's it about?
Basically, it's a sci-fi about not quite aliens, but kind of aliens who come and sort of take over the world.
Oh.
It has to do. It's a commentary on religion, on communism, on happiness, on free will, on every. It's like crazy.
Who's in it?
No idea.
Oh, so it's like
no
not
one do
a
I know.
famous.
It's
That's cool.
no idea. But it's like it's so well. There's literally something like the aliens kind of take over everyone in the world except for like a few people, and the aliens are like super happy. Like they kind of embody people, like pod people type thing, and the people are really happy, and they literally say a line that I have said as a Christian person talking to people why they should become Christian, which is. Look at how happy we are. Like, look at how content and how happy we are. Like the joy that the Lord gives us. Mm-hmm. And the other person's like, I'm doing fine on my own. And then I'm like, yeah, but you've never experienced what we've experienced. So you can't say that you wouldn't enjoy doing this. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and that's literally what like the aliens overtaking the world say. I'm like, wow, this is such a good like parallel.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. You Christians are an alien invasion.
Well, it doesn't make us look, obviously there's differences that I would say would make Christianity good, but the level of commentary is still like really, really interesting.
Oh,
it's
okay.
really good.
Well, I'll never watch it ever, but
Highly recommend.
maybe you guys can do that after you're done, after you come.
Yerking it.
Let's see. One time I was like, I got really sick and I was like, I'm not going to look at my phone or watch movies because it just like, I was in so much pain. It was like, that was so much more distracting that having another distraction honestly made it worse.
Okay.
And I just sat in it for like a couple hours.
How was that?
Oh,
Healing?
There was something strange about it. It's like after you just break through a wall. It's like if you meditate for more than 20 minutes, at least when I do it. Once I get past the point where I stop thinking about time, it's just a weird effect of like
unity.
Yeah, just a calm, like a serenity of like being in what is happening.
Yeah.
And it's funny, your mind like it's such a wave-based thing or a cyclic thing because you'll crest and you'll feel like, oh my gosh, this is, and then you'll start thinking about how this is nice, and then by thinking about it's nice, you think about how it wasn't, and it gets bad again.
Yeah.
And you gotta ride these waves, and then eventually you're like, all right, I gotta poop, or you're like, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
But it was actually, it was like, I get like some type of infection in my tonsils like once a year, and it's the worst thing.
Get your tonsils out, dude.
Nah, it's sick money.
Yeah,
and I don't have good insurance.
Sure.
I'm not gonna get Medicaid tonsil removal surgery.
That's no.
I don't want to have some guy doing it with his secretary.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of these Medicaid places, you head into them and you're like, oh, this place was put up 3 days ago.
Yeah.
This is
for sure.
They get paid out quickly by the government, and this guy got his degree in like Indonesia.
Yeah, like online.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have your med degree from University of Phoenix.
Yeah, he passed. His boards exam was a game of Operation.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you didn't touch the sides.
Okay, well, no buzzers.
All right, pretty good. Man, you nailed it. First try.
Wow, really good.
All right.
Oh, the batteries were off.
I see. Well, he's gone now.
The people you'll be working on are poor, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
But anyway, in terms of spiritual stuff, I got my 1 year of sobriety. Woo! Pretty cool. And I have maintained it thus far, despite a little bit of a creatine overdose, which felt a little drug-like. Also, if I sleep so poorly, if I get good sleep, it feels like cocaine.
Well, don't get good sleep. I mean, that's what I take away from that is do not sleep well.
You cannot be sober if you sleep well.
I got to say, I got a full 9 hours last night.
I got 8.5 uninterrupted.
Here's my chip.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Restart it over.
I'm not a really sober guy anymore. I'm healthy and aware.
But then I have to admit, I felt very sober and serene this morning when I was reading Matthew 4-9.
That's fantastic. sounded like a dinosaur.
I love projecting burps and farts and sneezes. Like if you can add on to, if you have a burp and you can like speak during it, or if you have like a fart and you can do karate where the end,
yeah.
Or when I sneeze, I do this thing called Smelvis Presley, where I sneeze and people go, and I do like, and people go, bless
funny.
you, and I go, thank you very much.
Oh, that's funny.
That's
very funny.
Thank you.
That's a good bit.
Yeah, you can do.
That's funny. I don't
do that at home during the holidays this weekend.
Yeah. It'll crush.
Smelvis Presley.
Come on, you guys. Yeah, it'll crush. I think I just when I sneeze alone in my house. Oh, the best.
Yeah, you do dad sneeze. Yeah, dude, that is the most energizing thing on earth.
The amount of times that I've sneezed onto my television from my couch in the back, and then you see it, and you're like, the
static of spit.
Yeah, you just see it on there, and you leave it for a bit. You're like,
I'm fine. There's something about doing something gross and being fine with it. It's very freeing,
dude. That's what living alone is. I mean, it's amazing.
This week, man.
It's been nice.
There's been some interruptions by my fucking lovely girlfriend. But just having your own space, what is it about shitting with the door open that just makes you feel like one with the universe?
Dude, so I had a buddy staying with me for the last week or so.
Bummer.
And it is also
shout
funny.
out to that guy. He seemed really cool.
Jared Castlebaum, great guy, very funny comic from LA. We met. He was at my first open mic ever. In Illinois. But anyways, it's very funny when he's staying with me in a studio, because normally like first night in, you're like, all right, this is there, your towel's here, if you need anything, I'll be in there. It's very funny when you're in a studio and you're like, all right, ready to go bed, all right, good night, if you need anything, Just say
Look up over the
just
couch.
say anything out loud, and I'll hear you. It's like I'm 2 feet away from you.
There's something that's such an unsettling. It's like that's why you like when you used to do sleepovers when you were kids. Like you couldn't deal with that. Like so you had to like keep joking and joking and
you
joking.
couldn't be like have the mutual silence. Just be there.
Yeah, and now as adults, you're just two men. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we would talk for a while too. We had a lot to talk about. So we talked for a while, but there was a difference in pooping because now I have a fan in my bathroom. I never use it because I live there alone.
Yeah.
But now when he is there, I got to close the door and turn the fan on.
Yeah.
And then when he left, it was open door, fan off, and it was like, oh, this is amazing.
One day I will design a house, and a big fixture of that house will be, like F-35 level. Toilet fans, like you turn it on and it just sonic boom level, so that I can do my naughtiness in the under the protection of darkness.
Sure, that's so funny because I like pooping in silence. I like being able to just listen to everything outside of that. The fan.
When I'm doing it in nature, I like it.
I've never pooped in nature.
It's awesome.
I've never pooped.
6 months of my life I pooped in nature.
I feel like I don't have the mobility for that.
You can't do a Chinese cigarette squat?
I can, but my feet need to be quite separated.
That's fine.
Yeah, I've been getting better at it. That's actually one of the
dig a hole, you plop over it, and you go as far as you want spread. It's the wiping that is of concern to most people.
Yeah.
Best thing to wipe with? Packing snow.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Really gets the grit.
Yeah.
And then you just...
The grit in the ground.
Then you throw it in.
Yeah. And that
Smooth rocks.
There's something about pooping, or was it squatting that I was about to...
Please remember, because both are important.
Yeah. It was something about squatting and pooping. I don't know.
Okay, well, we can't have dead air. We can't have dead air. We can't fucking have
But
dead air.
anyways, yeah, I agree with you. I prefer pooping in silence in my own apartment. And that's the joy of living alone. Is you really
the joys of living alone.
Yeah, it's
you
very,
can
it's very
nice. Shit on the floor, really. You'd have to clean it up.
Dude, well, this is when I was heading back to...
That should not spark a story.
When I was heading back to my apartment when I had food poisoning, and I was like, don't puke, don't puke, don't puke. I was like, don't puke. I was like, get to your apartment and puke. And it was so funny because I was like, what if I get to my apartment and I puke everywhere? And
That's worse than just outside.
I could just puke in the streets of New York where literally everyone pukes.
Yeah,
everyone pukes in New York City. And I'm like, I don't want to puke on the street.
Feed the birds.
Messy. And it's like, literally everyone does that. You could just do that. And I didn't. And then I puked in the toilet.
You should have thrown up on the third rail and like electrocuted yourself with the arc of pizza crust.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it was steak and eggs.
God damn. That's hard when steak gets you because steak is such a comfort.
I know. I love steak. And now I'm like, I hate steak. I could never eat it again.
I can't eat sun-dried tomatoes anymore.
Oh,
because
really?
of a puking episode.
Man, that's too bad.
Let's talk about this temptation of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, let's get into that. Matthew 4.
Matthew 4. So the last time we talked, and you listened.
That's right.
John the Baptist he told the Pharisees to suck one. He gave Jesus a little baptism, and even though he was like, "Why are we doing this?" and Jesus is like, "No, it's cool. I'm part of the thing."
Leading by example.
Exactly.
And my ministry has begun.
So now Jesus is going off into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, as is tradition, and he's going to be tempted by the devil. The devil's going to take him around the I guess Middle East and show him things and be like, do you want to try this? And he's gonna be like, no.
What about this?
What about this? He's like, no, I don't think I'm supposed to do that. And so he uses some scripture. So Matthew is basically, a lot of it is trying to use stuff from the Old Testament to link to Jesus to show that he is the prophesied Messiah. And so if you are the Son of God, this is the devil, command these stones some loaves of bread. So Jesus is starving himself by doing fasting for 40 days. And so the devil comes and is like, hey, if you're the Son of God, why don't you make these rocks into loaves of bread?
You're pretty hungry.
He's trying to use his need for food, or his want for food, his desire, to get him to prove himself. And Jesus goes, fuck off, man. I'm really hungry right now. But man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. This was the first thing that I was like, oh, I like that. Like if you have real faith in God and like if you're really in life, it's not just about eating and shitting and fucking. You know, like
it's not just that he's appealing to our spiritual natures.
Exactly.
The fact that it's like we need something outside of that. Like Satan's like, you just eat bread. You need bread and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And God's like, no, I don't need that. I need something so much more basic, more fundamental than that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is a funny note in the ESV for 4:3 where it says, "If you are the Son of God," which is coming from the devil, and then the note says, "Jesus, of course, was and is the Son of God."
Yeah,
which is just funny to me because it's like, okay, for someone who's reading this and not convinced.
Yeah.
It's pretty arrogant.
Yeah.
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
And so then Jesus and the devil go to the holy city, and he's like, you should jump off the temple, because if you're really the Son of God, the angels would float you up. And Jesus is like, no.
Angels would save you.
Yeah, and then he quotes a lot of this is Deuteronomy, right?
Yeah, which is the book we stopped right now.
Nice. And
wait, what does he say in Deuteronomy?
Well, in Deuteronomy, Jesus said, so here the devil is using quotes from the Old Testament against Jesus. He says, this is in context of Jesus throwing himself off of the temple from 300 feet up. Satan says, he will command his angels concerning you, and on their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against the stone. And Jesus said to him, again, it is written, you shall not put the Lord your God to test. So, well, that's interesting. Like, what do you take from that? You shall not take your Lord to God to test.
That I think is, in a sense, a lack of faith, right? Mm-hmm. Being like, well, if this is true, then didn't do this for me,
right?
Rather than saying, I trust the Lord's will for my life.
Yeah.
You're saying, well, I'm going to do this to force your hand. It's kind of a control grab. As it were.
That's how I used to do it when I was a kid. Like I'd get really bad stomach aches and diarrhea. And I'd be like, God, I'll believe in you if you make me have not diarrhea right now.
Dude, well, there's that. I do that all the time. Maybe I've talked about this on the pod. I've talked about this all the time. Like growing up, it would be like from shooting hoops or something. I'd be like, if I make this basket, I'm going to marry so-and-so. And it's like, if this happens, I'm going to marry so-and-so. I did this walk into a breakup conversation one time. I said, if I see Louis C.K. right now outside of this building, then
your other God.
Then ultimately this will be okay. Like this, it's going to be okay long term.
Yeah.
And I did see him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I'm like, all right, cool, there we go. And it's like, it's nuts because it's like, that has nothing to do with the thing.
Sure.
It's just a OCD. My therapist has kind of framed it that way for me. Just like an OCD, like control thing. It's like, well, if I do, and then this happens, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it shows like actually a lack of faith. Like prove yourself.
Like I have show yourself to me in a way so that I can determine that you are real.
Exactly. Instead of God being like, no, I'm carrying you currently. Mm-hmm. Just because you don't understand how I'm carrying you doesn't mean I'm not. Right.
Yes.
It's relenting your will.
Yeah. And so then, I think he tries one more time, and the devil's like, all right, well, this isn't working, so I'm going to go.
Well, try to read the one more time thing. This is an important one. The third one.
This is the important one?
Well, it's an important one.
Okay.
Important ones.
So then, let's see. Satan. Also, this is like the first, for me at least, first Satan. This is the first devil.
Yeah.
And not like the snake or whatever. This is the devil. This is Satan. Mm-hmm. So this is my intro to Satan.
Yeah. Also, one quick thing. He knows. Also, this is evidence that Satan knows God's word. Mm. Satan knows what the Lord has said.
Oh, and he can use it against you.
Right.
So you have to be well armed.
So, yeah, but also just to point out, if someone knows the Bible really well, and if someone knows like, oh, this verse, that verse, whatever, that's not like, oh, you're a holy, good person. That's not what that means. Like that, like the devil knows the words of the Lord. Mm-hmm. Like, and yet he is not a good guy.
Yeah,
so,
you got to look at what he's trying to get you to do.
Right.
You got to look at the intention.
100%.
And so then the devil says, they're still at the top of the temple, which is like,
Well, he takes him. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I think this is, or does he take him to like a mountain?
He takes him to
a
another
mountain.
place. Yeah.
Okay, so he takes him to a mountain. They look over Jerusalem and he says, all of these I will give you, meaning like power over everything, if you will fall down and worship me. Then Jesus says, begone, Satan, for it is written, You shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you shall serve, and him only shall you serve. And then behold, the devil left him, and the angels came and were ministering to him. So why is that so important?
Well, it's this. It shows this idea of like who is in control of the world right now. Who is reigning? Sin is reigning over the world. Like Satan.
Oh, if he can offer that stuff, that means he controls it.
Satan is in a sense control over this, right? And God's path or Christ's path towards redeeming these things from sin isn't from worshiping Satan and getting this stuff, but from sacrificing himself ultimately at the end of Scripture, is by self-sacrifice and by, not by worshiping Satan for these things. I don't know. I'm more out there woo-woo when it comes to stuff like this, but like the idea of like, not quite Illuminati, but like stuff like that, I'm totally into like sold your soul to the devil type thing. Like I think there's a totally legit aspect to that.
Yeah,
in terms of like occultism
even from a purely symbolic point, like giving yourself up for something that is actually not good for you, and that's totally just for, out of fear, external validation.
Yeah, but also like sacrificing to Satan, all that stuff. That level of occult, I totally believe that stuff is real.
I mean, if you have sacrificed your life, sure, like there's literal sacrifices for sure. Like people are probably, eating babies and stuff in different parts of the world. But
for sure.
There's just the symbolic thing of like, oh, I'm going to give up on my morals or my family or my time with other people to pursue success. That is its own sacrifice to the devil,
Yeah.
And then Jesus starts his ministry. So he starts going around Galilee and Decapolis and other places and telling people his word. And then he starts calling on his disciples. So he basically, the scene in a movie where like, he's like, I got to get together a squad. And then he does that. He goes to one fishing boat and he's like, John, Peter, come with me. And they're like, okay. And then he goes to another fishing boat. And then he's like, you other white names in a very not white name place. Yeah. You come with me.
Thomas.
Thomas, Ben.
Does he talk about
Stephen.
How his name's Caiaphas and then he changes his name or no?
Caiaphas.
I
didn't see any of that shit.
Or no, Cephas. Sorry. Cephas.
Oh, you mean to Peter?
Yeah, because Peter's name wasn't initially Peter, right? I believe it was Cephas. Or no, Peter was the name he was changed to. Cephas is Peter.
See fists. I see fists and I shove them up my ass.
You see fish. He's a fisherman.
Oh, Simon, who is called Peter.
Cephas.
Where'd you get Cephas?
Cephas, I don't know where I got that from. I think maybe that's... What the hell? Anyways,
I don't know, but Simon and Andrew they abandon their work.
What does he say to them?
He's like, "Come on and come hang out.
I will make you
fishers of men.
So you're a fisherman. I will make you fishers of men.
Oh, I'm going to teach you how to cruise.
I teach you, yeah, exactly.
I'm going to teach you how to go around and get fellas.
Here, get in this car, drive slowly.
Yeah. Immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. But that's for different people. That's for James and John.
But the idea of them just leaving their livelihood too, to follow this guy who's a carpenter and they're fishermen, different industries, and he's just like, yeah, come follow me. And they're like, all right, okay. That's like
I think in the notes it says that like they had been listening to him minister for a while before it didn't he like saw him and then
sure. It wasn't like the first.
They had a history.
Yeah.
And so that's him calling them disciples, and then now he starts getting big crowds. He starts selling out. He starts doing a little tour. He starts with clubs. Starts with clubs, then theaters. Now he's doing arenas.
Yeah.
Even people from Syria are coming to see him. And then we get to
what was he say? What's he saying to the people? Is there anything that he's saying
in here?
I guess we're getting there. We're getting to the Sermon on the Mount.
No, this is just him drawing great crowds. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really say anything specific. But then he starts saying this: the Sermon on the Mount. Josh, hit us with the Beatitudes.
Okay, the Beatitudes.
Great hair salon name.
The Beatitudes. What?
The Beatitudes.
Oh, the Beatitudes. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see
How do you say it?
Beatitudes.
Oh, I read it as Beatitudes.
Beatitudes. Get in here over at the Beatitudes. Mm-hmm. Where'd you get your hair done? Man, where'd you get your hair did?
See, I wasn't doing it in that voice. I was just saying
Man, it's the Beatitude. They just opened them down the street.
Moving on.
Sorry. Sorry. It's my black man impression.
Oh.
Okay, so this is like one of the biggest famous sermons of all time, Sermon on the Mount. And he opened his mouth, Jesus, and taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed
That's the number one thing. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, yeah. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for so they persecuted the prophets who were before you." So let's just stop there. I mean, this is like such an insane thing to talk about just on a single episode, because it's like each one of these things, like, what does that mean? You could dive into and has been dived into for like an insane amount of sermons, like per line. But
Poor people rock. Pussies will get the earth.
Meekness. Yeah, let's talk about what meekness is.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Meekness, I've heard this definition, I've really enjoyed it, is controlled power. It does not necessarily mean weak. It rhymes with weak, but meek doesn't necessarily mean
Oh, so people who exercise
self-control
with power.
Yeah. But just the idea of
when's that going to fucking happen?
It says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." I mean, all of this stuff is basically the opposite of what the culture. I mean, they're living in an occupied state that Rome occupied, right? All power, like human. The other person that they thought was divine at the time, that was God, was Caesar Augustus.
Name? Oh yeah,
he was the Caesar, the son of Julius Caesar. They literally thought he was a god. So the idea of a man being a god wasn't like foreign to any of these people. They're like, yeah, that's Caesar. Obviously, look at him. He's got all the power. He's got all the money. He's got all the wealth. Like, he is the god. And now he comes in and lines in all of these things that have to do with people who are the least in society. Those who mourn, those who are poor in spirit, those who are merciful.
Jesus is a populist.
Mercy wasn't a popular idea to anyone. If even those who are poor are like, I don't want to be merciful. Like, I get trampled on, but I would do the same thing to me too.
Yeah.
If I had the power, I'd totally do that, because power was virtuous back then.
Right.
And it's a completely different worldview. It's a complete flip on the head. You know what I mean? What stood out about this to you? What did you enjoy?
Let's see. Those particular ones didn't. I think I've heard like a lot of this stuff before.
Sure.
And it comes in other like cultures too. I guess the blessed are the persecuted for righteousness' sake, theirs the kingdom of heaven. I don't know. I can't really remember this stuff being that inspiring to me. It's just like, it's just a cool idea to think of someone doing the things that you said during the time.
Right.
But other than that, it didn't really.
It's completely revolutionary given the time frame, which is also why Tom Holland, the historian, basically says, like, we're kind of desensitized to it now because we've been living with this moral framework since Jesus introduced it.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, is it's like, it is the underlying like framework, even though very few people apply it, of a lot of our moral code is right. Like treat it, we'll get to it later, but treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah. And everyone's like, yeah, duh.
Mercy.
And it's like, okay, where does that idea come from?
Sure.
And people are like, it's just obvious. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. But was it always obvious? When did it become obvious? Why is it obvious now? And it's just weird because it's like saying we swim in water, because we do, but people think we've always swum in water, but that's not the case.
But then there's the salt and the light, which I didn't.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me.
Or you want to clarify
one thing in verse 11? Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for they all pursue the prophets who are before you. So this is when you or anyone makes fun of me, then I get bigger rewards in heaven because of that.
Oh wow! Oh, so you're going to be swimming in it.
That's the goal.
Wow!
I don't even care if you guys get up there. I'm just doing this to pad my own bank account up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
You think that, so all the things that people have been saying behind your back. Oh, wow.
That's funny. I've never even thought about that, but
Yeah.
that's so funny. That's so funny.
All the shit that
Everyone's talking
so many
trash
people have
about
been
me.
talking about you
Hey, he's retarded.
is really going to
He's
pay off
retarded. Yeah, apparently. I never even thought about
after
them,
you die.
I never even assumed that they were talking trash about me.
Yeah, I guess I was going to try and intervene, but keep doing things the way you're doing.
Yeah, in fact, gas it up if you can. Really, if you get in there and be like, that guy's so dumb for believing in Jesus.
I will. I will do that.
Exactly. So
Okay. And so let's see. Also, a lot of this like puts the onus, like not the onus, I don't know what the right word, but it's like this stuff is in you. Like it's not in kind of the rest of this we'll get to, but it's like, of course, like there's rules from the Old Testament, but like a lot of this stuff it's in everyone. Like you have access to this. You don't need.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to like.
Yes.
You don't need to follow every rule or know every single thing or be perfect, but everyone can be a little bit nicer to poor people, or whether they're poor in spirit or poor in money.
Right.
Everybody can try and extend some grace or mercy. You know, it's like these things are. None of this is you need to build a tabernacle.
No, none of this is works based. Blessed are those who mourn. That's everyone. Everyone mourns, right? So this is saying if you mourn, you are blessed.
Right.
I mean, there's so much hope in this because you're reading this and you're like, oh, this describes me in some sense.
Yeah, I
you know
guess,
what I mean? But the poor in spirit, the downcast, like, that's everybody.
Right.
Everyone, that is everyone at a certain point, you know?
But then he does get more specific and then things start to get kind of fun. But salt and light. This part I didn't understand. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? Is it no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under the people's feet? So it's like, okay, you've lost this kind of guide or this like connection with God. That doesn't mean we just throw you out. Is that what it's saying?
I think
it's how do you rekindle it, or like what does that mean?
Well, I think a lot of it is about being reborn. I mean, this is talked sort of later. Like you need to be like people talk about becoming born again, right? And that comes later. But like this idea of like you can't be, if salt has lost its tastiness, you can't remain the same. Like there must be some sort of change going on, and I think there needs to be a rebirth of sorts in order to regain your flavor. Or I mean, salt isn't the main flavor, but you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
In order for it to become its effectiveness, what did the
my note
thing say on it? No, not your note. The commentary say on it.
Oh, I don't know. You are.
You don't want to look at it?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
There's more interesting stuff in here, I think.
All right.
Unless you want to look at it. Let's see. It's 13. As salt is beneficial in a number of ways, so are disciples of Jesus who influence the world for good. Light of the world. Yeah. So I mean, did that really?
It didn't really answer the trampled part.
Sometimes these
other
notes
than like
I go,
don't lose the just basically like. But also, yeah, that's also a question in terms of salt. Like, does it expire ever? Is that like even a thing?
No, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Severin Remo is a very funny joke about having Himalayan pink salt on his
thing,
and then he has a joke about it expires.
Yeah.
And it says, oh, it expires. He's like, man, what a bummer. Thousands of years in the mountain of the Himalayas, and I got it right when it was about to
Bummer.
expire. Exactly.
That's great.
So funny.
How's he doing? Anyway.
I think he's doing well.
Okay, so the next one is interesting because it made me think, I'll read it. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all of the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. This, I made a note, is kind of, I think, where the Protestant work ethic comes from. Like this idea that like your work is evidence of God. So the more output you have, the greater God is. And that's just what popped into my head.
Yeah, I think that I don't think that that's wrong necessarily. I do think that it's maybe unfortunate that we would say, the question I have then is like, what realm of work are we talking about, right? Because I think
booty work,
what Christ talks about,
trying to make that booty work.
It's why Protestants have bigger butts,
dude.
in general.
Yeah, they do have those fat Protestant asses.
Dude, I got a big butt.
Do you have a juicy Protestant ass?
I kind of do, yeah.
Are you Protestant?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were Presbyterian.
That's a subset of Protestantism.
Oh, that's so obvious, Grant. You're such an idiot.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, but I don't listen to you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Just because you're Protestant doesn't mean you're interesting.
It goes.
I'm protesting to you not talking so much.
The three big ones: Catholic,
Lutheran,
Orthodox, Protestant.
Catholic, Orthodox,
Protestant is an offshoot of Catholicism. They broke off when Luther broke them,
Okay.
and then within Protestantism, you've got thousands.
Oh, see, I already forgot the third one.
Episcopalianism, Anglicanism, all of that is under
Catholic,
Protestantism.
Protestant. What was the other one?
Orthodox.
Orthodox.
And Orthodox, you've got Russian Orthodox, you've got Eastern Orthodox.
Okay.
I think you've got Egyptian Orthodox. You've got like a few different Orthodoxes.
And that's where you just have a big silly hat.
I think they have big silly hats, but also they're more their church services look totally different. They stand a lot more. They're much longer.
Okay.
They venerate images, so they use images in their worship a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
It looks more Catholic than Protestant churches typically do.
Okay.
Anyways, so I would say that the light on the hill, what the desired light isn't just like, oh, they're really good for the economy, but like they love people well.
Sure.
And also they aren't lights so that we look to them. They're lights so that we look to their Father in heaven, right? Like the light, you don't light a candle for the candle's sake, you know?
You do it so that you don't stub your toe.
Right. You light the candle so you can see the room.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we pointing towards? What are we illuminating? Ideally, we're illuminating the Father's love for us through the light and through being the city on the hill. That city on the hill is who Israel was supposed to be to the nations, right? That's why they were set apart. They were set apart to be that light on the hill, to draw the nations to them so that they could all commune to God. Israel was the priest of the nations, and they just messed up horrifically. And that's why Jesus has come. And now we, with the Holy Spirit in us, we are now lights sent out into the world to preach Jesus' love.
Okay. Christ came to fulfill the law.
Fulfill the law.
Yeah, so all those laws, he's like doing them.
Yep.
And this line I liked. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. So like you got to go above these people that you see as the top of the charts.
Yeah.
You have to, it's so much more than just rules. So a lot of this is like, oh, I had a fucking saying for it, but it's like mercy over sacrifice, or it's like, it's just, it's giving over tradition. Like it's living instead of repeating.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's some fun stuff. So anger, he talks about anger. Are these the sins? No, these aren't the sins.
Well, they're sins. What do you mean?
They're not the like 7 deadly sins.
Oh, no.
No.
I mean, anger. Yeah, I think anger is one of them, but I don't think...
Right.
There's no area in Scripture that Jesus is like, and here are the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, there's not?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, anger he talks about, and he's like, basically, it's bad. Don't judge. For here, I like this one. He's like, first be reconciled to your brother, and then come offer your gift. So if you're at the temple and you're going to make your sacrifice, your offering, or whatever, and you think about how you actually have real life beef, go solve the real life beef before you make the offering.
Right.
Like you have to reconcile with the people around you before it's almost like a purity thing. Like you have to reconcile with the people in your life and around you before you can hope to make a meaningful offering to God.
Yeah, there's a functional sense where it's like your self-righteousness could be like, oh, I'm good with God, and this person's, they're the ones that's messed up. It's like, okay, you're supposed to reconcile with each other and forgive and not try to hold up and one up on each other. And that happens even today, like with communion, a lot of it. One of the things they say, I don't know if you remember this, is like, if you were right with the Lord and with your brother, then come now, like, to have communion. Yeah. And one time I had a long-standing rift between me and somebody, and right before communion, I definitely felt convicted. I was like, I gotta make this right. So I am sitting in church. I draft up a long text and I send it to the person I got to send it to, because I was like, I got to deal with that before I like come before the Lord and pretend like everything's good. I got to try and make that right, you know, and everything's fine now. with that person.
Oh,
So,
that's good.
yeah.
Lust. This part's you quote this part a lot. So it's not just you. It's not just fucking someone that makes you naughty. Even if you look at them wrong, it makes you
With the desire to commit adultery.
You basically already did it. And so if you do that, cut your fucking eye out. And if you jack off, cut your hand off. Okay. And if you think about it, cut your head off. That's basically what he says almost verbatim. So
right, but what do you think he means by that? What's the end of the thing?
For it is better that you lose one of your members than that your whole body go into hell. So basically, it's better that you sacrifice your carnal desires than you sacrifice your soul or the things that come with that sacrifice.
I'll say this before going forward on the thing too. This idea of anger too, it talks about murder. Or it's like, hey, if you just get upset at your brother, it's like you murdered them.
Yeah.
You know? So, and this same thing is like, if you just looked at a woman, it's as if you committed adultery.
Yeah.
So basically what he's doing, starting off with what Grant said, is like, you need to go beyond the law and the prophets. You need to do better than the scribes and Pharisees. Because this is what you're not supposed to do. Like, don't commit adultery. And now Jesus raised the bar by an insane amount.
Yeah.
And it was like, actually, you shouldn't even look at them. And then you're like, well, how the hell do I do that? Like if you listen to Sermon on the Mount in that time and you think you can earn your righteousness by following the law, he basically takes that completely away from you because
you'll never be good enough.
Exactly.
You little sick pig.
You're basically like, I've done all of those things. So if you're listening to this thinking you can save yourself, it's deflating. It's a real bummer because you're like, oh, well, now what do I do?
Right.
Because I've done all those things. So he's using... not hyperbole in the sense that like it's not real, but he's making it extreme so that you can realize you are not good enough to save yourself, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think that's like really powerful used really well.
Right. And then he talks about divorce. And it says, whoever divorces his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you, that's Old Testament stuff. But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife, except on the grounds of sexual immorality, makes her commit adultery. And this part, I have a bone to pick with. Whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Come on.
Yeah, I can't speak to that part. Who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. I wonder if divorce means for the right reason. I wonder what they mean. Like if they get divorced for
I guess if you're only allowed to get divorced because your wife committed adultery.
Or because you committed adultery.
Or because you committed adultery. Well, then that doesn't even make sense because if I commit adultery, if my wife's ex committed adultery, why would it be adultery for me to fall in love with her and marry that lady? That seems silly.
Well, I think that this is talking about unlawful divorce. Whereas like if you get divorced for an unlawful reason, not one of those reasons, then technically that divorce, they would say you're still married.
Right.
So you're sleeping with another man's wife. So that is adultery.
Huh. Okay. Well,
I think would be the take on that.
That's fine. But I think that you can also maybe get divorced if your husband's beating the shit out of you.
Sure.
Or
that's
you feel like your life is at danger.
Right. There's more dived into divorce and
maybe divorce law was a little different back then.
No, but there's more going forward too in terms of like abandonment and things of that nature.
Or if he's like weird. I think if your husband is not good at parties, like he says weird shit at parties, that's adultery.
And you gave him like a couple warnings.
You're like, hey, don't.
Hey, babe, could you
just
not
let go of some stuff.
Just don't talk about how loud your poops are all.
Yeah.
Just maybe read the room a little bit.
God, I thank God every day that I'm not just a little like a full on dork. You know, someone who just everything they say is weird as shit.
Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with the energy that they say it into.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
You can say crazy shit, but it's just delivery is so important.
Yeah, totally.
Oaths. Basically, don't make oaths if you're full of shit. Don't make oaths to try and get something out of it. If an opportunity is presented to you, just say yes or no to it. Don't fluff around it and try and... I'll just read the thing.
Yeah.
Again, you have heard that this is You have heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform to the Lord what you have sworn. But I say to you, do not take an oath at all, either by heaven, for its throne of God, or by earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not take an oath by your head, for you cannot make one hair white or black. Let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil.
So, there's an interesting idea where it's like when you swear on something, even when it says like swear on your own head, I swear by my life or whatever.
Yeah.
He says you can't make your hair white or black.
Oh, it's like what we were talking about before. These things of like, if this happens, then I believe it's a form of
control. It's you saying this is this is my life. I swear on my life. But he's saying it's actually not even your life because you don't control your hair either.
Yeah.
So like, it's not your heaven. It's not your earth. It's not your city. This isn't. You don't have the right to swear on these things, right? So just don't. So don't pretend like, oh, I swear, but just say yes or say no.
Right.
Just keep it at that. Don't try to overstep your boundaries. And also, you're kind of painting yourself into a corner here too.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, you also like life is going to turn out way different from how you imagine it. So just stop worrying about.
You have so much less control. You have so much less control over your oaths. It's arrogant to say, I swear I will do this, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You might swear you're going to do it, and then immediately afterwards, you know, an air conditioner that I improperly installed falls on your head.
Absolutely. Dude, this was so ingrained into me when I was a kid. Like I was in kindergarten and the teacher was reading a book, a funny, like a Bible story book to us or whatever.
Sure.
And she said, okay, now everyone needs to promise not to laugh when I read what's on the next page, okay? Everyone promise, and everyone was like, we promise. And they raised their hands, everyone did that. And then they flipped, of course. And everyone died laughing. And I went home and I told my mom that, and then I said, but I didn't raise my hand or promise that I would not laugh because I didn't know. I thought I might laugh, so I didn't promise that I wasn't gonna laugh. So I didn't break my promise.
Wow.
I was 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I didn't promise that because I didn't know. So it's like that idea has been like grained into me like since prior to kindergarten.
Yeah. So yeah, you're not a guy who I should be like, hey, if I tell you something, promise you won't get mad.
I'm like I mean, I can try, but I'm not going to promise it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it depends on the
just
thing.
the kind of like nothingness. I mean, it's just a warning of like, hey, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to take it literally and be like, I will not give a promise that I can't.
Yeah, why would I promise that? Like that seems dumb to me.
But really, I'm just saying, hey, man, I'm a little anxious to tell you this. I'm warning you.
Yeah, be like, great, go ahead, tell me. I'll try not to get mad. Also, very few things I think would get me upset. But anyway, that's beside the point. But
love your enemies. We don't need to talk about that.
Okay. Where does that come? Retaliation?
Yeah, retaliation. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. So this is kind of the change, which they do talk about a little. They talk about a lot in Old Testament. Is like this change from like, you know, Code of Hammurabi style tit for tat being elevated to no, there's reasonable responses. We can have reasonable responses to these things.
Yeah.
To no, you completely don't retaliate. You just forgive people.
Well, it's like look at all the law that we read in terms of like in Leviticus and Numbers when there's so much like if you take this man's cow, but it was, you know, a Wednesday and he was this tall or whatever, then it's like then you owe him 4 cows back and all that stuff. Like they had so many laws, and now it's completely turning that on its head. You know, where it says before it says eye for eye, but how does it end? That section.
Give to the one who begs from you, and do not refuse the one who would borrow from you.
Does it say lend without interest and all that stuff?
And if anyone would sue you and take your tunic, let him have your cloak as well. And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. I
mean, this is one of the most famous scriptures in the Bible you're just skipping over. But I say to you, do not resist the one who is evil. But if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if anyone would sue you and take your tunic, let him have your second also. Again, they're in occupied
slapping
Rome.
Your ass, give them the other part of the rump.
They're in occupied Rome. A lot of the times this has to do with those Roman soldiers who are taking over and like commanding them to do things.
Sure.
And basically he's saying, yeah, do it for him.
Yeah.
Which again is like, there are oppressors.
Right.
What are we
Interesting enough,
saying?
this part was written by those guys.
The Romans are like, it'd be really convenient if you.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, we can't kill this guy. He's really helping us out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but it's introducing a completely different mode of power.
Yeah.
Because you're like, there's power and weakness because you're not just doing what they ask you to do or command you to do. You're going above and beyond that of your own free will.
Yeah.
It is a taking of power back in that sense.
Yeah.
Through love. And loving somebody is a powerful act and an act of forgiveness too. It's just completely revolutionary from what they've dealt with in the past.
It really is crazy. It seems like a lot of Jesus's vibe is ending the cycle of negative reciprocity.
Yes.
Like the only way to truly balance things out is to stop trying to balance things out.
1,000%.
The only way to stop like everybody killing and stuff is to just be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to participate anymore. Like I'm actually going to do the opposite of what my inborn thing, which is to get even.
Right.
And it's a really, really crazy idea. Even now to like think, oh, this person has hurt me, I'm gonna love them. That's wild.
Right. I mean, just if you think of two people getting into a fight and it's like punch. Okay, technically they're even. It's 1-1, but like then there's anger involved, and there's no sense of like, okay, we're even. Like no one's that rational.
Yeah.
So it's like you hit me harder. Well, then let me hit you back, and then it just becomes this like bigger thing. And so it's like, you know what? The fastest way to do it is punch. All right, I forgive you.
Yeah.
Now we could both move on, and I get hurt a little bit more, but also I can handle that.
So you're saying
I'm okay.
Hit them and then say, I forgive you.
Hit them and then say, you gotta forgive me.
I'm forgiving you, so you can't hit me back?
Yeah, you forgive me so that you don't hit me back.
Okay. And then, wow, we spent a lot of time on this. Love your enemies. And so he does a little throwback to Old Testament. He goes, you heard, which all of this is, you heard you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But he's saying, no, don't do that. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. If you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet only your brothers, what more are you doing than others? I underline this part because it's like, oh yeah, like everybody has a circle of care that they extend, and then outside of that circle, they don't give a fuck about.
Well, so a few things. Tax collectors back in the day, similar to now, or whoever, how conservative you are, hate tax collectors. Right. Hated them. They were like bad guys because they always also overtook. They never took the amount that they're supposed to take. Like they took some for themselves personally. They were corrupt people.
Yeah.
They're like the Mexican police now or whatever. They're just like, hey, just throw your money on the thing.
Or the United States government.
Sure. Yeah. Either one's fine. And so it's like, and this idea of like, and back again in Leviticus times when it was like, love your neighbors yourself, the Jews, and we can even see this now in Williamsburg today, the Jews see neighbors as like they're neighboring Jews. They don't see it as like goys or people outside their community.
Right.
Like that's what they believe their neighbor is.
That's why if you're not in a minivan, you're getting cut off.
Exactly. It's like, sedan, are you kidding me? You don't have 8 Jewish kids in there? Forget it. And so that's what they saw their neighbor. This again is expanding that literally to everybody. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, everyone cares for their own people. What's virtuous in that? Love those who are not in your circle. Love those who are against
It's really not that hard to love someone you already love.
Exactly. And that's why they're like,
you don't get brownie points for the bare minimum.
Right. I mean, that's the thing is like, Jews back then would be like, oh, I have to love this other Jew who I find annoying. Shocker. And it's like, okay, that's would be their burden. And now it's like, no, not just them. Also your enemies, because they're not even your enemy. They're just an annoying person that's on your team. Right. But now you need to hate people, or now you need to love people that are not on your team.
Okay.
And in essence, making them on your team in that way because you love them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like so wildly accepting and completely different. He's saying, again, with this being occupied by Rome, love Rome. Love your enemy who is occupying your state. That is how you turn things around. Crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Because he's also talking to the most persecuted people, by the way. He's not talking, I mean, like there are people within the society that are higher up statuses too, but he's speaking to the lowest of the low a lot of the times too.
Right.
And saying like, you know, it's crazy. Nowadays you'd be like, no, I'm the most marginalized community. You can't tell me to love like the person that's oppressing me. Like it's completely opposite. It's crazy.
Yeah. And we'll probably stop there.
Yeah.
Any
Chapter 5.
thoughts?
No, what are your closing thoughts? Is this your first time reading this?
Yeah, this is my first time reading the Sermon on the Mount.
What was it like?
It was, you know, it's really interesting. It's a lot more concise than I would have expected.
It's very,
And, you know, I did some reading outside of that, and I fucking forgot all the things that I wrote down, but it is, it's cool. It kind of points to this thing, it just points to a very interesting concept of like, how do you get out of a cycle? Because like the cycle of humanity is war and hate and power and evil and fear. And the only way to do it is like this almost impossible to ask thing of turning the other cheek, of saying, I will sacrifice my own safety out of faith that not even that this thing will work for me, but this is the better thing to do for us as a whole.
Yeah.
And it's like a really powerful message. It's just, it's very easy for immediately when you say that, fear to creep in and go, yeah, but if nobody else does that, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. And I mean, that is what happens to most early Christians. Maybe I shouldn't say most, but a lot of early Christians martyred brutally.
Yeah.
Brutally. I mean, if you look at like Christian killings that are going on right now in like Sudan or like Egypt and stuff like that, like Christians would just get slaughtered, and they're not like, you're like the Yazidis or whoever, you know, like they just get killed. It's brutal, and it's because they're Christian, and they're like, yeah, but I believe that I am ultimately I mean, the blood of the martyrs is like a crazy powerful witness too. Like your death, like the martyr's death transforms so many more lives.
Yeah.
For the better for that. So it's one of those weird things where it's like, obviously for the individual, but they're laying their life down willingly too, like Christ did, and their sacrifice will save many more people.
And it's funny, it's the same logic as like suicide bombers. Like it's the same idea of like, if I sacrifice my life for this greater thing, peace will come upon the earth.
Yeah, I guess when the Christian's dying, they're not taking anyone else with them. They're just dying themselves. They're being killed. Whereas suicide bombers are going out trying to kill as many people as possible. But
I know, but it's the same, like, this is the same end goal. It's the same intention of like, this is like my way of being a part of this divine intervention.
Sure. And one is inherently aggressive and one is inherently peaceful. One is denying oneself and being slapped on the other side of the cheek or getting your head cut off, and the other is trying to kill as many people as possible.
It's blowing up a plane.
Well, yeah, one's a little more aggressive than the other.
Sure.
But one's by war, which is, well, we won't get into talking about Islam, but that's that's very standard for the religion.
Well, probably shouldn't have ended on that, but
all of our Muslim listeners are going to be mad now.
We can talk about that next time, I guess.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But anyway, this has been another episode of
Call Him Father.